Are your project stakeholders fully engaged, or is there some improvement potential? If there is, I have 3 tips for you right after the trailer. I'm Sasha and this is 10 Minute Biz. It's sometimes one of the most tricky things in a project to engage your stakeholders, no matter if it's an end user or if it's a steerco member. And from my experience, I have 3 tips for you. And the first one is inspire them. Now, to illustrate my point, let me ask you a question. Who's more popular? A singer or a football player or a project manager? Now the answer is obvious, but why is this? Now think about what a singer or a football player will talk about. They talk about their next game. They talk about their next concert, about their next song, how cool it will be, how they will win. And what does the project manager do? You see, that's here actually my Gantt chart, and you see there's a lot of dependencies, and then I also had to do the risk management, and there's so many risks high in the matrix. And you see this RACI chart that I did. Now let me tell you the hard truth. Nobody cares, and nobody should care except you. It will be the same thing than when the singer will tell you what they actually train each and every day, how they get up and how they start warm up their voice. You wouldn't care neither, right? So we have to change our mindset. If we go out to our stakeholders, don't tell them all the details you're so proud of, and you should be, but still resist. But tell them the end goal of your project, the vision, how cool everything will be once you have accomplished it, once you succeeded. That's what will inspire them. And when they're inspired, they're interested. Or in other words, they're engaged. Number 2, satisfy them. And what I mean with that is from a communication point of view. Each of your stakeholder has certain interests, certain things they want to know because they're curious, because they have some stakes in it. Give them what they want to hear. Also, here is a small example. I just read on a Facebook post that somebody asked, he has a project delay and now there's a steerco. What should he say? And some people recommended that he explains why in detail this delay happened and what the root cause was. Would you agree? I personally wouldn't agree. Because again, and it's a little bit the same thing as with number 1. They don't care. They don't want to know why it happened. It already happened. The project is already late. What they want to know, first of all, is that it does not happen again, so that you did your mitigation actions. Second of all, the steerco wants to know what you want to do about this delay. So put yourself in the shoes of the stakeholder. What are they really interested in? What is the things they need to know that they can sleep well at night? That their hunger for information is satisfied, and deliver that to them, and only that. And with that we come to number 3, enable them. And also here I have a question for you. If you are in various associations, for example, in which association are you the most engaged? I would bet it's the one where you're volunteering, where you're not just participating, but where you really have a stake in it. Being involved means being engaged. And sometimes all what is in our mind is to deliver information, which makes the other one a passive consumer, instead of making a call to action. On a steerco level, to come to the example I made before, give them some options, what you could do to resolve the delay. Instead of just saying, this is what I'm going to do, when you give them some options, first of all, managers always like to have options. They like to decide. And second of all, they're suddenly involved. Their voice, their advice counts. But even with end users, Do you have to do a pilot? Do you have to do some beta testing? Take the most critical, the most disengaged stakeholders for these tasks. Suddenly they have a stake in it. Suddenly it's not good enough anymore just to lay back and to wait until whatever you do approaches them. But now they're involved. And so here we have it. Inspire your stakeholders, satisfy their information needs, and enable them to have a stake at your project. And with one or more of these tools, you can practically engage each and every stakeholder in your project. And the more engaged your stakeholders are, the more feedback you get, and the easier in general is the change management, and with it also the adoption at the end of whatever you're trying to implement. And if you want to know what are the most critical areas for program management, have a look at this video. I hope that was interesting. See you next time.